So yeah, guys, welcome back to another video. Back to our roots in the car here, stationary, so it's a bit easier to chat to everyone. And there's a few topics been going through my mind. It's been a quiet Christmas relatively. I got Omicron, which wasn't as bad. So in some positive news, the virus seems to be mutating into something less easily, more easily dealt with, more easily caught, obviously. So the transmission of it is pretty crazy. So I hope everyone's staying safe and having a very happy new year. And yeah, I guess, these have become little bits where I seem to vent or talk about like topical things. And something topical that's come up is the worrying lack of an attention span. I've got a younger brother. I'm sure all of you have nieces and nephews. You can't pry away from the iPads or seeing how tech savvy some of the kids are getting. And it's not all to say that that's negative. There's obviously big positives to that. How tech savvy the generation is probably going to prepare them for 90% of jobs that haven't been invented yet. So they're going to be put in great stead for that. But I guess for me, I sat down, right, when I was growing up, when I was younger. I used to remember really looking forward to Christmas because on BBC, on ITV, on all the terrestrial TV, you'd end up getting, movies like Home Alone, big Christmas movies, etc. And I used to really look forward to watching stuff with my family and sitting there for 2 hours. And I just started thinking, I didn't do that once. I didn't watch a single movie all the way through. Actually, that's probably a lie. I think in the 11 days, we watched Ace Ventura. That was pretty funny, actually. But it used to be a daily occurrence, and now I don't know how many people have the attention span or the patience to deal with it. And even during Ace Ventura, I found myself, not to kind of rag on anyone, I found myself just picking up my phone, scrolling through Reddit, looking at Twitter, refreshing Instagram, and it just brought me to how crazy the consuming content has become. I myself started a YouTube channel last year, and my videos are not short by any means. I'm looking at it's already at the 2 minute mark. I can't seem to shut up ever, but yeah, they're pretty long. Actually, some of the feedback I've gotten from people are actually that they are too long, and my watch time says that probably I think my average user watches 2 minutes of the video, which is kind of in line with what I expect. Some of the hardcore fans, thank you very much, stick around through the whole video. But yeah, that's one of the biggest kind of feedback I received. Keep it streamlined, keep it short so we consume it. We don't have time. We're very selective. I think as we've grown older, the abundance of content there is available is almost, it's like when you go into a supermarket, sometimes it gets so you want to go through every aisle to see what's there. You don't end up buying everything, but you go through every aisle. I think with the advent of Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, and platforms like that, there's just so much out there available that sometimes you go the opposite way and you don't watch anything just because you can't really make your mind up. And yeah, I mean, look, it's a sad thing because it's crazy how we've gone from, we've gone from 2 hour movies to 1.5 hour sporting spectacles, down to half an hour sitcoms, down to 10-minute YouTube videos, and now, it's the advent of the short TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. It's crazy. You could just get lost in the world. Time has flown by. It's been an hour and you've watched about 16, 17 videos of cats or babies. You're my, Scrubble Munch, whatever, cutie pie. And it's crazy. You can get lost in it. I see my auntie now. She sat there, on Christmas dinner, and obviously it's not all she does. No bad, and deserves the time off. But she was just scrolling absentmindedly through TikTok and loving life. And I don't know what it means for a wider attention span. I don't know, because I do find it difficult. I find it difficult now to sit down and watch an Arsenal game without looking at my phone, or just purely being invested in the content. The only time is when you've got absolute spectacles of events like Spider-Man No Way Home. Not once did I get my phone out, maybe once, twice, check the time. But, absentmindedly, I feel myself just losing attention very quickly. Another medium that I think is really gone down low are books. I can't remember the last time, I read Harry Potter before I started uni. I read Harry Potter like 64 times, all of them. I absolutely love the books. And once I read them the final time before uni, I can't remember the last time I finished a book cover to cover. Now, I know a lot of people aren't suffering from this, but I look at some people in the younger generation through personal experience, and I look at the way they consume content. And, my brother, my wife's brother, they just sat there consuming shorts. And I don't know what it means for their attention span. Actually, it's not all doom and gloom, I suppose, because, I say in the title that you should worry. I mean, it's not a big form of worrying, actually. I mean, it's apparently global IQ is going up. So in some ways, maybe jobs in the future will require an attention span that's not as quick and something that's quite snappy and sharp. We just don't know yet. I just guess it's something different for me. That's the word, isn't it? It's different. I don't want to castigate anyone for their use of how they consume media, but it's sad to see that it would take me a mammoth effort to sit down with my brother and watch a football game. He won't be able to do it. He won't be able to sit there for 90 minutes to keep him entertained. I require, like, you know, next level. Like, you know, even games now, like a Fortnite game, a Warzone game will last probably, 15 to 20 minutes. It's all about snappy, keeping people engaged, keeping things fresh. It actually makes me want to reevaluate how I put out content. I say that on the 5 minute 39 second mark. But yeah, it makes me want to reevaluate how I get it out there, because I think there is a quick way to get your messaging out there actually and be engaging. But I don't know. It worries me. It worries me that people can't, you know, the wavelength of mediums are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. The engagement is getting smaller and smaller in terms of what we consume. You know, I've not really gone down into that world. But actually, my main form of media right now is YouTube. You know, even now watching a television series, I can, if they're exceptional. Something like The Leftovers, which I watched recently, was amazing. I'm watching Formula One Drive to Survive currently, so I can. But absentmindedly just picking up my phone, looking at other things, looking at emails, constantly the mind is working, and I kind of miss the time that we would just switch off. And I do wonder if there are any worries around that, whether there is any sort of, I don't know, nefarious is such a aggressive word to use, strong. I'm not sure it's that catastrophic. I just think it's different. I don't know if it's good different or whether it's bad different. I just feel you lose something. You lose the beauty of things if they're constantly being distilled to their very bare bones. You lose interactions like this. You lose language. You lose essence. For me, you know, growing up, movies and all these, like, you know, spectacles. You really want to, you know, people can't stand for a 15-minute fireworks show now without getting their phones out. And, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I don't know where it's going. I don't know how much smaller it can go. I'm guessing when we start intravenously engaging in content right in our mind, the world will probably be our oyster. But it conflicts with kind of the stuff I talked about in the previous video, like the metaverse and all these things, because I feel like those will require a bit of a longer attention span. So where we're going with this, you know, whether it's economies of scale, whether it's easier to get it out, whether it's easier to edit, whether it's just more entertaining, whether it's people valuing their times more, and being able to do other stuff, I don't know. We live a really busy, fast lifestyle. I've not looked at the data around it. It's just an innate feeling I wanted to discuss. I'm worried about it. I'm worried that, you know, my brother doesn't really like to watch movies, doesn't really like to watch football. He doesn't sit, and it's no slight against him. Super clever, super engaging guy, and I actually have great convos with him. It's just, it's really different when you're, you know, you've got a younger brother who you want to kind of, everyone wants to develop someone in their own image, but that image is very different to what it was 20 years ago. And, you know, I think it's a sad thing. I'm sure it's what our parents dealt with, actually, with us, you know, when we were on the video games, when we were, you know, playing constantly, when we were kind of, you know, wringing the fruits of their labor in terms of the work they did. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I'd be keen to hear everyone's thoughts, whether it's kind of a puzzling thing, or whether whether you've been drawn into the world and what you think about it, how you envisage engaging with content moving forward. What are your recommendations for these videos? I know I can make them a lot shorter than they are, but, you know, the points, points can be more salient, but I don't know what the best way to do it is. So yeah, the point I'm really trying to make is, you know, it's linked to the happiness, the dopamine rush that we get. You know, we get quick hits of dopamine, and it kind of feels, I don't know, somewhat cheap. This is only from, you know, me trying to show some vulnerability on a personal level, because everyone, again, has a choice. You have a choice as to what to engage with, but I sometimes feel it's a really cheap way for me to get a quick dopamine hit. And it's not as saying, oh, I know where the dopamine hits, or I know the chemical reaction behind that, but I know what it's called, I know the mechanism behind it. And, you know, it's crazy. Doom scrolling is what they call it, don't they? You know, you can sit there. I just started scrolling through these things the other day, and, you know, it was like 11 p.m. and it was 11:48 p.m. in what felt like 3 minutes. It was unbelievable. So I don't know. Look, like anything, overconsumption of anything is bad. You have the choice of what to engage with, really. And you know, it might say something, you know, about other facets where you could be more productive, where you could spend your time a bit better. So for me, you know, not wanting to kind of, I don't know, it's not conspiratorial, I think. It's more just not wanting something to take over my life in a negative way, wanting to have a balance, being able to consume multiple things, being able to do, I guess, you know, being a jack of all trades, being able to go to the movies, not hit my phone, being able to, you know, watch a sporting event, being able to detox and detach. Now, you can uninstall it, you can take a break, you could just be wary, I guess. Be wary of screen time, set screen limits. That's really kind of all the advice there is around stuff like this, really. I mean, you know, what else is it that you can do? I think it's unrealistic to disengage completely, because it is a feature of the modern environment we work within. But yeah, just be careful and be conscious, and that's the main thing, really. One thing is, actually, all my videos, they have more views than I have subscribers. So actually, when I looked at it, like, you know, 50% of people that watch these videos aren't subscribed. It takes like 30 seconds to click the subscribe button down there. If you could do that, that would really be great. It would support the channel. People seem to smash the like button, which is great. I get tons of likes relative to the views, and I really appreciate it. First video of 2020 is out. One to think about. Didn't want to come in too heavy, so I apologize if I've made you feel bad about watching shorts. It wasn't in the intention. I hope everyone's having a great start to the new year. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back soon. And that's what Buck says. Well, that's what Buck has to say for this week.